Hi, my name is Abi Gatling, and today I want to talk to you about curiosity and robots. How about that for piquing your curiosity? Well, welcome. This is my podcast, Creativity Uncovered. And if you haven't tuned in before, this is a podcast where I explore how everyday people find inspiration, get inventive, and open their imagination. And in this podcast, I share practical ways for you to be able to summon your creativity the next time that you need it. If you've listened to a few episodes by now, you probably would have kind of heard a recurring theme is that how important my family is to me. Family is one of my core values. It's right at the very top, and I'm so lucky to be blessed with a very big family. I've got five brothers and I've got two sisters and tons of nieces and nephews who I absolutely adore. Spending time with my nieces and nephews gives me such a fresh perspective because when you're deep in the treadmill of adulting, you're working, you're paying your bills, cleaning the house, dealing with stress, being around kids helps you in this special way. They have this kind of magical way of snapping you out of this kind of drone-like state that you may fall into. They have this wonderful way of reminding you that life doesn't have to be so serious. And the other day, I had one of those beautiful moments with my niece, Molly, my 5-year-old niece, Molly. She's an absolute dote. She's beautiful. And this little moment ended up being this fantastic, perfect little lesson about creativity, about curiosity, and about seeing the world with fresh eyes. So recently, my husband, Michael, and I put in a pool in our house, and we were so excited by it, so excited by it. And it's a total game changer for us, and obviously for our nieces and nephews as well, because what kid doesn't love swimming, right? And so we are constantly having people over to have a little dip in the pool, and it's really been fun. And a couple of months ago, I had my family visiting up from Sydney, and for days, the kids were in and out of the pool and just having the absolute best time. Um, but as anyone with a backyard pool knows, after 5 days of sunscreen and dirt and grass and just like general chaos, our pool was just looking a little bit worse for wear. So one afternoon, my husband Michael and I were like, okay, cool. Now let's just do it. Let's just bite the bullet. Now's the time. We need to get a good old clean. And so we got out there and we scooped out the leaves and we balanced the chemicals. And then when we were all done with that, the final step, we went in and we got our automatic pool cleaner, our little pool robot, and we plopped it into the water. And just as we did, my little niece Molly came up to Michael and wide-eyed and with this sweet little voice, she said to him, "Are you and the robot working together to clean the pool?" Oh, it was such an innocent and charming question that just stopped us both in our tracks. Because yes, I mean, we were working together, Michael and the robot and me, we were a team cleaning the pool. But we just had never really thought about it that way. And that little question from Molly flipped the whole situation. What was kind of just like a chore that we had to do, necessary part of entertaining guests and being responsible pool owners, it all of a sudden just got flipped into this kind of funny and playful collaboration. we weren't cleaning anymore. We were teaming up with a robot and and fighting the dirt. And if you think about it that way, um, it's just way cooler and way more fun. And so after that cute little question from Molly, that our afternoon just took on this whole new energy. We decided to name the robot. We started dreaming up other type of robot helpers that we could have around the house. The kids really got involved. We were drawing robots and making them out of boxes and inventing all these kind of wild robot adventures. And all of that, this whole afternoon of fun and play and activity was sparked by one simple, curious question from a 5-year-old. And it is that shift in perspective that is what I wanted to talk today on this episode of Creativity Uncovered. Because curiosity fuels creativity, and it opens you up to new experiences, new perspectives, fresh ideas. It Curiosity invites playfulness back into situations that would otherwise feel heavy or dull. And when you're stuck in work, or you're stuck in life, adulting, or in the middle of a creative block, curiosity can be this lovely little thing that can be your way out of there, that getting your way out of being stuck in a situation. And so reflecting on this cute little question and how that perspective changed our entire afternoon made me think about creativity, and especially those situations when you're feeling like you're like in this rut, you're in this mundane situation, or perhaps you're in this situation where you're trying to force creativity. Perhaps you have to be creative for your job or for some other reason, and you just are getting the pressure and you just are at this block where you can't do it. It sort of made me think, when you're in those situations, instead of just trying to force creative solutions, what if you simply focused on getting curious instead? What if you asked a cute little childlike question with a why, or a what if? Uh, what if you changed and you shifted your perspective from, oh, I have to blah blah blah, to I wonder if blah blah blah? Because what I realize is that creativity is not about these big, dramatic breakthroughs. Sometimes it's just about, tilting your head slightly and just seeing things in a new way. And that helps you suddenly spot possibilities that you just couldn't see before. And so I think that perhaps we need to not focus so much on forcing this creativity. We need to start fostering our curiosity. And and so I thought I did a bit of research of like, how can you actually foster this curious nature, and how do you start building this curiosity muscle, if you will? And a lot of the research that I have seen out there is exactly what Molly did. It's this practice of observation, or active observation. So what you need to do for that, just to start sparking your curiosity a little bit, is just trying to be really active in observing the things that are around you. So wherever you are, if you're working at home or you're out in the office or you're on a walk or wherever you are, when you are there, just take a moment to look at your surroundings and go, hmm, wonder why that is like that. Or, what's another way we could do that? Or what would my 5-year-old niece notice about this that I don't? And when I have gone and tried to put that into practice over the last couple of weeks, uh, it was just been amazing how just those little questions and giving myself the task of observing has helped me see new things. It's helped me allow these new ideas just to kind of bubble up and me to recognize them rather than like pushing them aside because I'm too busy. And I think that when you let yourself wonder and be curious freely and without judgment, then you are going to start embracing these kind of new creative ideas, which I think is super, super cool. So the crux of this episode is that I want you to think that the next time you are hitting a creative block or you're just feeling a little bit stuck, you're staring at the screen, you are in a rut, maybe you should ask yourself, are you and the robot working together? Is there something or someone you could team up with who could help you think differently? Or is there more of a playful or curious way to think about the challenge that is presenting itself to you? Hmm. Are you and the robot working together? So cute, so cute. Let me know if you try this one because I've had it stuck in my brain for the last couple of months. And there was something just so delightful about that question and has sparked my curiosity about curiosity. And these are my thoughts about it. And I'd love to know what you think about it too. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Creativity Uncovered. I hope that this little story about my niece gives you permission to pause and to play, to wonder, and just be a little bit more curious in your life because if you are, I'm sure creativity will follow as well. Okay, take care. If you've made it this far, a huge thank you for your support and tuning into today's episode. Creativity Uncovered has been lovingly recorded on the land of the Cubby Cubby people, and we pay our respect to elders past, present, and emerging. This podcast has been produced by my amazing team here at Crisp Communications, and the music you just heard was composed by James Gatling. If you liked this episode, please do share it around and help us on our mission to unlock more creativity in this world. You can also hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any new episode releases.